Hey up, me ducks. How are we doing? It's lovely to see you all here. All 64 of you already waiting, which is just amazing. I'm going to pop open the chat and then we'll do our hellos. Then I'll tell you about my little accident. We have David, first one in. Didn't know there was a CC&C. Thought you was away. Do you know, people said to me from like Thursday onwards, what are you doing at the weekend? I kept thinking I'm doing something at the weekend, but I couldn't think what it was. So I was like, okay, well, nobody's rang me today and said you should be here or where are you? Or so I think I've had such a lot on happening at the moment that I don't know where I am from one day to the next. Marilyn's here. Hi, Marilyn. And Nadine, hello. Lovely Rachel is back. She's not been here for a while, so nice to see you. Kathy's here. Hi, Kathy. And Judy. And we have Jonathan. Hi, Jonathan. Nice to see you. Excited to catch this live. It's lovely to have you with us. We have Louise and Jack. Hi, Jack. Nice to see you. Hope you and Bella are doing okay. We have Bonnie. Hello, Bonnie. And Will. Hi, Will. We have the lovely Aldonna. Nice to see you. And Linda. Lily Rose is here. Hi, Lily Rose. And we have Sarah. Hello, Sarah. Dawn. Stephanie. Oh, Stephanie's had a rubbish day at work today, so she's looking forward to this. I'm sorry you've had a rubbish day. Hopefully hanging out with us for a bit will hopefully improve your day a little bit. And we have Ferdiad. Hello, Ferdiad. Fireside chat. Hello. And let me just try and catch up. Delati. Hello. I don't know how to reply to people, bless. Robin's here. Hi. Hi, Robin. And Tammy Pie. Hello, Tammy Pie. I think I saw mention of a birthday. Have you had a birthday recently? I'm sure I saw it mentioned somewhere. So if you have, happy belated birthday. Adam's here. Hi, Adam. And we have Vicky. Hi, Vicky. Luciv. Hello. And Rolf's here. Hi, Rolf. And Ollie. Hi, Ollie. Artemis. Hello. Donna. Hello. Lisa. Hello. And oh, it was 17th of June. Well, that wasn't too far back. It's only a month. But I don't know why I saw mention of a birthday like this week. I don't know. Unless you're showing Dex and you said I've just got this for my birthday or something like that, maybe. Yeah, and welcome. So, about an hour ago, I'm going to have a shiner of a black eye tomorrow, and how my glasses haven't broken, I don't know. So it was about an hour and a half ago, I thought I'd better set up the CC&C because I went out early this morning, like as I normally do. I'm up at 5 and I go for a walk and I did a little bit of shopping, and then I was back home for about 9 a.m. after having a coffee as well with a friend. So back home for about 9, catching up on YouTube and stuff, and I started to fall asleep, and I've been kind of like nodding off and on all day. And then I woke up, I was like, I haven't set my live for CC&C. So I went and got my laptop on the back room. Now this case is what I keep my MacBook in, which is a big heavy MacBook. It's a Pro, and chargers and everything else, headphones. And I was carrying it back to, why is that popped up? Let's get rid of that. I was carrying it back to the sofa, and instead of sitting down in the sofa gracefully, I kind of just slumped in the sofa, and as I reverberated, the bag hit me right on the cheekbone and threw my glasses off, and I was like, ah, it was so painful. And it's not the place where you want to, so there's a little bit of a bruise coming out now all around here, but I thought, great, I'm gonna have a right shiner. To your bottom left, I mean. I'm not sure what that is, Adam, what you've asked me. Yeah, so let's hope it's not too bad, because you know when you do get a black eye, everybody looks at you like either you're a thug and you've been fighting, or someone's punched you, and it's all that, oh, how did you do that? How did you do that? Isn't it? But I once fell while shaving and cut my lip and ear. That was painful. Yeah, I can't believe how, I mean, this that I'm talking to you on, it's really, really heavy laptop, really heavy. It's about 4 years old now. It's a good one, but it weighs a ton, and it just bang. So I sat down. It was my own stupid fault. Like I said, I should have sat down gracefully, but there's nothing graceful about me, unfortunately. Robin says, yeah, let me try and get some comments up on the screen rather than read them there. Yeah, I fell asleep with my glasses and awoke brushing them with my arm and felt like I broke the bridge of my nose. It was sore for about a week and a half. Wow. Yeah, I just can't believe these didn't break. I mean, I have got a spare pair, but I was trying to think, where did I put the spare pair? And if you're trying to find something without glasses, Hazard's sitting on the couch. I'm sorry, you should make up a better story than that if you ever get... I know, and like, people that be like, oh, I hit myself in the face with my laptop. Simon, please let us about your dogs. Please let us know about your dogs. So I don't have dogs, but my friend has dogs who I go walking with at the weekend. Absolutely stops bruising. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to go out now. Sandra's here. Hi, Sandra. Nice to see you. I was asking what the deck is to your bottom left in the VH. Ah, yes, that's the one I got. I showed it about 2 weeks ago. It's the Celtic Tarot. I think it is still in print, but not in this style. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful artwork. I think this is from 1990. What was it now? 1990. So it's 36 years old, but really beautiful, intricate cards. And it's that 90s card stock where it's just really nice. Feels beautiful. It is a pip deck. I know not everybody likes them, but love me the pips. Yeah, the Celtic knotwork and line work in this deck is exceptional. So these are the backs, which are gorgeous. So I did show it, but I think it's probably in a video that's called 4 New Tarot Decks, because they came in and it was when I was feeling quite overwhelmed with the amount of walkthroughs that I had to do. And I thought, do you know what, these are decks that I've bought myself, so I don't kind of feel like obligated to do a separate video for each one. So it's probably in that one if you want to have a look at it. Yeah, that's living there at the moment. Any other comments that I've missed? Hopefully it won't be too bad. Yeah, I'm hoping it won't be too bad. But I don't know how long bruising takes to come out, but usually it's pretty soon, isn't it? But yeah, so what's everybody's week been like? What's been going off? Mine has been pretty full on. last week of the academic year and all that. Graduations and end of year meals and fuddles and all sorts. Plus reports, the dreaded reports. Slap a steak on it. I don't have any steak. I've only been watching recently, but do you feel spirits can attach to a deck? I have one I call my purgatory deck. It's so odd. Do I feel it can attach? Personally, no. I think there are decks that we can use that help us to connect to spirit. I don't necessarily think a spirit can attach to a deck, although I guess a spirit could follow a deck. So I guess that's the same thing. But, you know, if you inherit a deck or a deck has been passed on, I think that it can hold energy. And we've talked in the past about decks that just have that kind of bad juju. You get a feel of it and you're like, yeah, I need to cleanse this deck. Sandra and I did a bit of a cleansing on a deck once that had bad juju. So yes and no, really. Hi Dustin, good to see you. How are you doing? The arnica, is that how you say it? Arnica tropically or tablets is good for bruising. Last week academic year was knackering, but children enjoyed their parties and music. Yeah, I believe spirits can attach to any object in my experience, but they tend to attach more to objects like dolls that have a humanoid form. It's interesting. Delady has been spending time watering her garden and the allotments. It's always productive. Oh, Laurie's here. Hi, Laurie. Nice to see you. Go and see Toy Story 5 with my family. I'm going to the cinema on Friday to see Odyssey. I'm kind of going because my friends want to go. I don't know if it's a film I'm choosing to go and see myself. I just feel like it's going to be a long film, but I'm just hoping my ADD will keep me interested long enough. Because on Friday I break up from work. So, and I've been really tired when I've been getting home. So going straight from work, breaking up after like a 8-week term, and then sitting in a cinema for a 3.5 hour film. I'm not sure how it's going to play out. I attended the first tarot fair in Brighton today. Tell us more, Tina. How was it? Good? What sort of, I mean, when I think of tarot fair, is that a fair full of tarot readers or sellers of tarot decks? If the skin is broken, yeah, there is a little bit of a break, as you can see, but it's fine. Just let it do its thing. Adam says, let's pop this up. I once brought a deck brand new and just didn't like the energy of it at all. Something kept telling me not to bring it home, so I ended up leaving it in the street. Wow. Wow. See, I would bring it home. Me personally, I would bring it home and perhaps cleanse it. The new Stones album, Donna. And hello. I'm not going to even attempt to pronounce your name. Persiak Zenzi? But hello and welcome. It's nice to see you here. I would fall asleep for sure. Dustin said it's hot as Hades there. It's a lovely evening tonight. I was listening to Robin talking whilst I was getting ready, and he's in Manhattan. and the thunder was really loud. I was at the other side of the room. He was over, well, Robin wasn't over at the other side of my room, but my iPad with Robin on was over the other side of the room, and I was over here getting everything ready, and I could hear the thunder, and I was like, oh wow, that sounds like an amazing storm. What did you think to Disclosure Day? I enjoyed it. Oh, you hated it. I should have read on first, shouldn't I? I found it awful, really condescending, and a complete 180 on it. Okay, I mean, I quite enjoyed it. I thought it took a while to get going, but yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I just didn't want it to end where it ended. I wanted it to continue a bit. So, sympathetic magic is the old belief that objects can pick up qualities from people or places they touch, kind of like how a shirt can smell like perfume. Yeah, and I used to, when I was in a development circle years ago, practice, I nearly said cartomancy then. Oh my gosh, what is it called? I can't think what it's called. It's gone right out of my head, but where you hold an object and feel its energy. I can't think. Words have been dropping out of my mind recently. I don't know if anybody watched the car crash of the deck walkthrough I did earlier of Alejandro Rozan's Pixies Marseille. So much editing. I was just like, why can't I think of the word? Just tired. Outdoor Shakespeare stuff. Yeah, they're fun. Especially when they're in, over here, we tend to do them in big stately homes, which are really nice. Oh, so the Tarot Fair in Brighton was tarot readers and sellers, some Etsy sellers, and a couple of deck creators there too. Not as many stalls as I thought, so a tad disappointed after a 3-hour round trip. Oh, that is a shame. I've never been to Brighton. I do want to go to Brighton. Ferdiad says, I think all of your other decks will keep any... Yeah. Mind you, I've had some misbehaving decks in the past, haven't I? Throwing themselves off shelves and trying to get attention. Got some attention-seeking decks, that's for sure. A fake Lubanco and threw it. Yeah, I would throw fake ones away if I ended up getting a fake. Well, according to Sandra, we're getting like a week of rain, but I don't mind. I don't mind summer rain at all. I find it quite refreshing. And in summer rain, you never get like a whole day of rain. You get like an hour of rain, and then you get sunny spells, and then an hour of rain or something like that. So I don't mind, but yeah, we need some. Yeah, I've been hearing about the fires. Been seeing some incredible pictures as well of like the sun that's pink through the smoke. Moran is here. Hello, Moran. Nice to see you. I hated the ending of Disclosure Day, but the movie was good overall. Was you like me, wanting it to just go on a little bit? It's like we got to the bit that we wanted to get to, and then it ends. And I'm like, man, don't end there. Maybe it needs a crazy saging. I might not be connected with it, but yes, almost seems the deck is looking down on me like I am a minion. Psychometry, thank you. I got the C for psychometry. And I was like, no, it's not cartomancy. What is it? And it's not C, it's PSY. But cometry, it's got a strong C sound to it, hasn't it? Psychometry. So I kept thinking it began with a C. But yes, psychometry. Thank you, Ferdiad. I used to practice psychometry. And of course, when you're the one who's holding an object and you're just saying what's coming into your mind, you don't know whether it's, it's valid information or not. It's the other person. It's like, yeah, And I had some really good results with that. So I can understand things, objects having energies, good and bad energies, because everything is energy. We are energy. I wear 2 rings, both are my granddad's. This was my granddad's wedding ring, they got married at the start of the Second World War, so 1939. And then this was just a signet ring. I don't know when he got it, before I was born. But yeah, these are objects that I've used before. And sometimes, you could just go about your business, can't you? You could put your hand on something and a thought comes to your mind. And we don't stop and think, is that thought that's just randomly come to mind because I touched this object? Or, is it... I've not heard that type of siren before. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. Or is it the fact that there's an association with the object? Because a lot of our thoughts, we have thousands of thoughts a day and we can't have them all in the amygdala part of the brain. So therefore at the back, and it might be, and if I grab an object, this object in my brain links to something around the time. So it could be the person that gave it me. And then I think, oh, I've not heard from so-and-so for a while, but I haven't made the association that it's anything to do with the object. Decks, I think I've had a deck that was terrible to use until I saged the hell out of it. Yeah, same. There's that is it stone tape theory? Is that what it's called? Where they think that if something's happened, particularly something that is quite horrendous, that the event of itself can have an imprint on the environment and where it's happened, and that's why it's called stone tape theory, because it's almost like the stone of the walls or whatever can record it. It plays back like a videotape. I'm not sure what's a great deck, but I missed what that was. There's only so many brain cells. That's what I keep telling myself. And I can always remember my mum years ago saying to me, she used to read magazines and books and loads. She was a real big reader. And she suddenly one day said, apparently we lose over 1,000 brain cells a day over the age of 40. So I don't know if that's true or not, but it's always stuck in my mind. Marilyn sages every deck that she buys and sages her sacred space every morning. That's good practice. I'm way behind, aren't I? Because we're on about rain now. You have to spread the love to all your decks. Yes, I do. What's your thoughts on AI decks? They're everywhere. I could probably do a 2-hour discussion on my thoughts on AI decks. And I'm not sure people really want to hear it, because I have talked about it so many times, Dark Rose, but the simple the simplest thing I can say is I support artists, and I will always, always favour original artist created artwork over AI creations. And also, if an artist tells us that they haven't used AI in the first instance, I'm going to believe them. If it proves that they've lied, then that trust is gone, isn't it? So I do think a lot of people point the finger and say that's AI when it just looks like AI. And if we think back to decks that have come out years before AI, if we think of decks like the Fountain Tarot or Dream Keepers and things like that, people would now say it's AI. You can tell it's AI. But of course it wasn't. And I also have changed somewhat my opinion on the use of AI if an artist who is an established artist have used it in the process to clean up or enhance in some way their original artwork, because to me that's no different to using things like Photoshop, and which nobody seemed to have a problem with over the years. However, I do feel that AI, solely produced AI decks, as in typing in create this image, are soulless, and they look so samey. The ones that tend to, they look very fancy art, and that's never really been my bag anyway. They just don't do anything for me. So yeah, wherever, I will always support artists, because that's what I love about tarot is the art. Ferdiad is off to Scotland on Friday. I think it will rain for most of my time there. Enjoy it. Bask in the rain, Ferdiad. Yeah, and exactly, Sandra, I'm just looking forward to having a break, getting away, change of scenery, spending time with you, and going to my favourite place in the UK and just breathing out. That's what I'm desperate for it this year. I don't think I could have waited till October this year, so it was quite fortuitous of us to bring it forward, I think. So yeah, I'm really ready. I'm really ready for it. And if it rains, it rains. I don't care. You know, I've got an apartment right close to High Street. There's cafes and children pilgrims to go in and take the weight off our feet, have a mead wine and let it rain. Don't care. I really don't. I know what to look for. Yeah, you do. And I still see, where was I? I went to so it was 2 weeks ago yesterday. No, 2 weeks ago today, I wasn't on a live because it was one of the work dues, if you remember. So I was here last Saturday, but I wasn't here the Saturday before. And I stayed in a hotel, and it was in Chesterfield, and it was also a big steampunk rally, and there was a parade, and there was market stalls, and there was a stand, a market stall selling fake tarot decks. And there's just these silly little tiny boxes. And I was like, oh God, what is wrong with people? And then they've got all these crystals, and I thought, well, if your tarot is fake, your crystals are probably fake. So I just walked on. You have to be so careful now. And, you know, Sandra and I are going to the Samhain market for Samhain in October, and they'll be there. I'll see them there. And last time I called them out on it, and they just argue with you. No, they're not. No, they're not. You know, and they get really defensive. So it's like, they know. And I'm not going to name them, but I went to a shop that's owned by two well-known deck creators that had both versions, and they create decks, lots of decks, and they'd got all the proper ones on this shelf, and then on the shelf below, all the fake ones. I'm like, look at them side by side. Do you think it's just another? So I think people know, and it's sad when it's more about that than what it should be about. But it just means I'll never go again. Many tarot fairs in Barcelona. I'm now 11 minutes behind on the chat, so I need to catch up. I was thinking earlier, we've got enough to talk about. I've got a couple of prompts, questions and things. I drove through the Utah desert yesterday and it was pouring rain. I've never seen a desert so green. Wow, I miss the Utah desert. Oh, was you on the I-15? It's a beautiful drive. Down through Provo, down onto Nevada. There's so many fakes, it knocks you sick. Yeah, I agree. A huge fire in the mountains in Llandudno. Wow. I still need to go back there. I went just before lockdown, February 2020, before we locked down in the March. And it was a really windy day, so we couldn't take that drive up to the top. And my friend was like, you've got to come back and see that. Seems like the whole world is literally on fire. Looking forward to Odyssey myself. Yeah, maybe it'll, I didn't like Troy. I think that's what's putting me off. The film Troy with Brad Pitt. Didn't like it. And now I'm thinking, oh, what if Odyssey's like it? And I don't like these huge, big, things like Lord of the Rings and, yeah. I'm dreading it. But I might sit here next week saying, guys, I went to see Odyssey last night and it was amazing. One can hope. Okay. Let's see if I can scroll down a little bit faster to catch up. I'm kind of looking for tags or caps or tags. I can't see. I'm now 9 minutes behind. I'm scrolling. Trying not to miss anything too. Hello Saskia, nice to see you. Fireside says, I do not have a liking for AI decks. I use AI for creating tutoring materials. There's too many artist created decks to choose from. Yeah. And I'm really, I don't know if anybody saw me on Cash's channel last Sunday. It was so much fun. We was on for about 2.25 hours going down memory lane, and it was so much fun. But we were talking about like trends over the years and things like that, and kind of what decks I look for now. And I was saying about how I'm really drawn to vintage decks. And how much nicer they seem to be. And that seems to be a trend at the moment in the community. I mean, I've got some lovely ones sent to me, if you haven't seen them yet. I've got I'd already got a 1990s version of Morgan Greer, but I got this sent to me by the lovely Jasmine, as well as a Scapini, and did you see this? The rarest of blushing fools. Apparently only 3 known to exist in the world. Oh, that was the last bit of information. So I said to her, are you one of the 3? Or is this a 4th one that's now, found? And I think Jasmine said she thinks it's one of the 3 because she saw a picture of one of the 3 and it looked like to be the same deck because of this tear here. And the cards are in mint condition. Really, really Beautiful. Love it. So that's up there with my other blushing full decks. But there's something about those vintage decks that are just incredible. People are now on about yes, so I love the look of the haptic tarot. And somebody left I watched a video the other day, or was it? No, it wasn't a video. Somebody put the picture in the Hermit's Cave Facebook group, and somebody said, can we get clarification as to whether this is AI or not? Because the artist is saying it's not. But the popular opinion seems to be that it is. But is it a case? Because this creator is an artist and released decks previously, or so I understand. So is it an enhancement, or I just don't know. And I want to believe creators, because if we stop believing creators, if they're saying, no, I've not used AI, it's really unfair to say, well, we think you have, and, you know, don't support them. People about the Hedge Witch. Take me with you to Glastonbury. I'm excited for haptic. Can't wait for it. Simon, I felt a connection to you after seeing Lady Frida's painting at the Morgan Library Tarot show, knowing you and Sandra saw them in the museum near you. Yeah. I thought I was going to, when I started to read that, I thought you were going to say, Simon, I felt a connection to you after seeing you, being as we've met. Yeah, that moment, that day changed my view of the Thoth Tarot forever. And I don't know your views, Robin, on the Crowley Tarot. What's your views on it? I don't see you showing them. And if, like me, you didn't have a connection to them, do you now, having seen the original paintings? I was just in Glastonbury. I want to go back. I love the haptic tarot. Yeah, I think I want the haptic tarot. I just need to find more information out, I suppose. Mead wine. I thought it was cider for summer drinking in Glastonbury. Lily Rose, where have you been? I know you've been around for longer than 7 months. No, well, yes, cider. I do like my cider, although I like inches, and very often I sit drinking inches cider in Georgian Pilgrim. I do, and Sandra will confirm, I do very often have a cloudy Somerset cider to kind of say, right, I'm in Somerset, so let's have a Somerset cider. You have to when you're in the county where it's famous for. But mead wine is a big part of our Glastonbury experience. Sandra even has it for breakfast. Jay Black has wrote a great blog about using AI on her website. What about the fake decks, I think, now? It's heartbreaking, isn't it? Oh, Cheryl's here. Hey, Cheryl. That should say Cat Black. Yeah. Cat Black has... Was it you who sent it me? It was you who sent it me. She's wrote a very interesting essay on AI and tarot. And no matter what side of the fence you sit, or even if you sit on the fence, it's worth a read. It's worth a read. Sarah sent it me about a week ago, I think. Fate decks. QR codes are usually a giveaway as well. I will if I do know. A lot of the times I don't know. The one I did know about, where is it? This one. Tarot du Monde, which is based on the 1JJ Swiss. And he sent me his process. This took a year to create. And he sent me his process, and it was AI enhanced. And I did say, you know, full disclosure, this one has, this is the process he followed. I didn't understand all of it, to be honest, but I'm not a printer. Yes, you did, didn't you? I got accused of selling fake decks at Oneness. I was devastated that someone would think I would do that. And it was unnecessarily harsh as well. But do you know what, Cheryl? Anybody who knows you here in this community, whether they've bought from you or not, know of your integrity. You know, we do the spotlight every month, and we show decks. People get to see through what we do exactly what you get. And just because a card set might not be to their expectation, or card stock is thin, doesn't make it a fake deck. Gosh, how long we've been talking about Llewellyn's card stock? Does that suddenly mean all Llewellyn decks are fake? Of course not. So, but it's what people perceive, isn't it, sometimes? But yeah. Utah Desert showed me why mystics sought enlightenment in deserts. Hello, Joanne. Long time no see. I hope you're well. You have answered my question now. You are going to class me this year with Sandra. Hope you got... Oh, it's lovely to see you. I hope you got my email. No, you mentioned an email. I need to check my spam filters, don't I? How will I remember? Have you... Is the email that you've sent me the first time you've ever emailed me? Because if it is, that might be why. But the lovely Joanne, who's here, has been a subscriber to the channel since I think I first started, and who's the sister of Cecilia, and I can't remember what her channel was called now. It's gone off my head. But used to go walking with a dog and chatting, and they were very relaxing. Yeah, but lovely to see you, and I'll try and remember to check my spam filters. Troy was a slog. It really was a slog. Oof. Oh my God, the Troy movie. I do want to see Odyssey. Sorry, I'm reading the comments instead of reading them out, aren't I? You're just sitting, like, listening to me in silence. I'm trying to catch up because I'm back to being 11 minutes behind. I'm such a rabbiter, aren't I? Again, I'm going to look for capitals or tags. You and Kasha were great together. I loved it. Yeah, you got a mention, Tammy Pie. I mentioned you, and I can't remember now why now, but I remember mentioning you in it. Love vintage decks. Have you seen the black bordered Morgan Greer? I want that one. Yes. Yeah, that's like the the elusive black bordered one, isn't it? It's very hard to find. Was it Brandt? Did Brandt have one? Somebody I know managed to get one, but yeah, it's very, very hard to get. It was so much fun watching that video, Kasha. Okay, I'm scrolling. People are about haptic tarot again. Oh, hi, Raven. Nice to see you. I love the haptic tarot, but I believe it's AI enhanced. Okay. So what's people's views on AI enhancement? If it's their own artwork and it's not stealing artwork, they're enhancing their own creation. What's people's thoughts? I like and respect your stance on AI decks. Hopefully this will be adopted by many. He said he used AI to clean up the images. See, I don't have an issue with that. I don't have an issue with that. Because people have used computer programs for decades to enhance and clean images. I have seen, I think it's called a tarot museum, but they do sell it. There's a video, Adam, going around on Facebook, and you walk in and it's just wall to ceiling of tarot decks. I've seen it come around a couple of times, a couple of months apart. And I think I can't remember what country it's in. It's not in the UK or the States. But it's a tarot museum, but it's a shop basically. But the biggest tarot stockist closest to me is in Chesterfield at Curious Goods. They have hundreds of tarot decks and oracle decks. In fact, when I spoke to the owner a couple of years ago, he said it was the biggest tarot stockist outside of London. Simon does have cider, yes. That's you confirming. Simon does have cider, yes. Everybody's showing love for the haptic. I'm not commenting, Simon, about the breakfast mead. The poor Sandra will never live that down. Only because of me, I need to stop. Sandra didn't have mead for breakfast. I was vlogging and the glass had been left out the night before and it was breakfast time. And I was like, Sandra's on the mead. And it kind of caught on a bit that Sandra had mead for breakfast. But, you know, she's on holiday. Even if she wanted mead for breakfast, who are we to judge? In general, I love tarot decks that illustrate the hands. Hands to me put the control of meaning and your ability to work through what is coming out in the reading into your own control. Well put. I agree. Visionary Tarot by the same creator is good. It's a photographic deck. Fate decks might have better card stock than Llewellyn. Well, I'm planning on coming. Sandra and I road trip to Barcelona. Oh, there we go. Sandra and Simon, forecast here, 10 minutes from Glastonbury at the end of next week is low to mid-20s, perfect for mead wine sipping. We shall sip. Oh, That's really weird. You know, when you think about it, I got the even though I'm drinking coffee, I got the taste in my mind, in my mouth of the Freya mead. When I said that, we'll be sipping. I could taste it. Isn't it weird? Barcelona, twist my arm. Oh, we can hear the bells, Simon. We've got 9 minutes to the bells, Justin. Oh, the 45-minute one. Same as Big Ben's chimes, the Little John. Got Big Ben and Little John, named after the legend of Robin Hood round here. I'm 4 minutes behind. I'm catching up. I'm nearly with you. Okay. Are we there? 1 minute. 1 minute. Yay, I'm at the bottom. With Sarah saying, my favourite mead here in Minneapolis, Michigan. It's called Dark Angel. Ooh, that sounds nice. All right, so now that I spent almost an hour just catching up on chat, a couple of things that I wanted to talk about. Let me get me banners up. Is what have you been enjoying this month? We are halfway through the month, just over halfway. I'm not going to be around at the end of the month. Obviously, we've just been talking about that. But what sort of decks have you been enjoying? Which ones have caught your attention? Now, I've got to mention, since I got it, the gorgeous Matronoa. Oh, bear with me, the ping, and I will be back. There's something I need to do. My dinner's going to take an hour in the oven tonight. So I set a timer, because if I finish at, say, 8:30, and then it needs to cook for an hour till 9:30, I get to bed around 10, so it can't be done. So I need it to be ready for pretty much after I get off here. Yeah, this tableau size, I'm absolutely loving. I mean, I've got all three sizes, but this deck is incredible. So of course, this is a deck that I have to mention because I've been using this every single day. I might even take it to Glastonbury with me. I probably will. Really gorgeous. I saw Diane soaping it, soap lamination, and I did put into my cart the cloth, unbleached cloth, and a pure goat's milk soap to do it. But I'm for my first deck, I'm frightened in case I damage it, because this deck, I mean, it's just everything. But when I met up with Tammy Pie in York when she was over here, she brought a deck and I held it and she said, can you feel the difference? It's soap laminated. It's been soaped. And I was like, oh yeah, it feels lovely. So I kind of want to do it, but I'm worried about it. Decks I've been using in July. Here we've got, let's have a look. Adam's been using Silver Acorn Tarot, Matronoa Tarot, Chromatica, Lovecraft, Heart's Path Tarot, beautiful deck, and I'm waiting 2 to 3 weeks for the Melasquema to arrive from Hong Kong. Wow. Melasquema is one that's on my wish list, but I'm not getting. The issue I've got now is I've broken up from work, so, and that building isn't accessible for the next 6 weeks, and that's where normally I have things mailed to. It's too difficult here. There's a deck that's already gone missing this week that they're saying has been delivered here, and it hasn't. So I need to, and I've got Glastonbury next week, so I'm away for days. So I'm like, I'm not ordering or buying anything at the minute until probably end of August. So so I did think about the Melasquema, but not right now. Valentina is the best. Yeah, it's beautiful. Matronora is stunning. Crystal Keys is a beautiful deck as well, isn't it? Yeah, I've got that over. I want to grab it, but I don't want to knock my God and Goddess over, because I keep doing that whenever I grab for it. Oh. I'll grab for it in a bit. I'm going to end up knocking things everywhere. But yeah, that's on my desk. Crystal Keys is beautiful. Jack soaped deck, and it was quite easy. It looked easy, but I'm just not sure doing it on that one. I mean, I could use the next size up. I mean, this is the second edition one that was just a little bit, showing you the backs, just a little bit shorter than the first edition, but again, it's just an incredible deck. Absolutely amazing. Artwork is out of this world, isn't it? Look at the dust. Dust. High in fat, low in fat. Dust. Bit of pop culture reference there for UK people. Oh, look at that. The deck that I showed today, which was Alejandra Rosan's, where have I put it? Behind me, had an alternative devil card. This is the one that I've just showed today. Mess of a video that it was, but you might not notice because it's heavily edited. I've actually took the devil out and put this one in because I love that devil. Oh, I mean, it's gone to glossy, which the prototype deck I've got is thick matte, but I love them. Look at the faces on the knees as well as in the belly. It's a great deck. Did anybody else back it? Pixies Marseille. The pouch is beautiful as well. Where have I just put the pouch? Oh my gosh. I've just took this out the pouch. I don't know how I get through life. Oh, it's here. Right in front of me. There's the dongs, Dustin. That's little John. Half the time I don't hear them, they just kind of fade into the background. But yeah, anyway, how can I not love this deck? And it's one that I've just will always love. I think it will always be my number one Marseille Italian pip style deck. Absolutely love it. Another one that I've been just loving this month is the Hieronymus Bosch, since I showed it. This deck is amazing. I know it's a bit of a different type of system, but I've been reading the book, and I don't do that generally. I might read a book when I first get it, but Travis McHenry's writing, I just love it. I messaged him this week actually, and he gave me the courtesy of replying about some decks that I'm trying to get hold of and whether they're going to be back in print and things like that. It's a really helpful person, but I love his work, and I showed this 2 weeks ago and I keep pulling from it, and I've not been doing readings with it as such. What I've been doing is shuffling the deck, pulling a card, then going to the book and reading about it. The artwork is incredible. I mean, it's Hieronymus Bosch's artwork, but yeah, I adore this, so I've been using that a lot. Another one, since I did the video about decks that are never leaving my collection, which, as you know, doesn't mean my favorite ever decks or anything like that, just ones that is the Queer Crow Death Magic Tarot. This is the first edition, and again, this deck I have been really enjoying. I'm just loving working with the colour, the print technique, the simplicity of it. I mean, look at that. And I asked Sandra if she'd pick up for me when she was in London Tarot's colour, and I've enjoyed it and I've used it a few times, but I've gone back to using this because I'm really loving this deck. It's fantastic. I mean, look at that. Look at that Hermit card. There is a second edition out, and Frank is brilliant, the creator of this deck. They're just wonderful. Lovely communication. But this is a great deck. Very clear readings. Beautiful. Simple. Stunning. So, Queer Crow Death Tarot is one that I adore. And then, again, Sandra was able to get this and asked if, well, she saw it and said, am I right to get it? And I got it, loved it. The book has got these little spiral bound, look. And then didn't use it for a while. And then about a week and a half ago, 10 days ago, I pulled it out again, and I love the artwork in this deck. It is amazing. The detailing, the colours is very dark. It's the Jordan Tensive deck. Well, I mean, we don't really know what it's called because it's just called tarot. I think it's Czech, isn't it? But on the back it says copyright Jordan Tensive. So that's kind of what it's called within the community. But the artwork is exceptional. I mean, look at this for the devil. Let me find you another couple. Oh gosh, look at the sun. I mean, come on. Beautiful. Love this card. And then Five of Cups. Look at that. Amazing. So yeah, loving that deck. I'm glad I pulled it out again. And then for a real clear pip reading, morning intention setting, just needed some clarity. I'm just loving, absolutely loving, and you know it because I've talked about it a lot, the Haderowski deck. The colours, the vibrancy, the clean line work, it is just beautiful to read with. Absolutely love this deck. And I can't believe, I mean, everything comes to you at the right time, but I can't believe that I didn't get this years ago. And I went with the CBD, and the CBD is great, don't get me wrong. I think it's because I could get the Yoav Bendoff book, but yeah, loving this deck. The colours are just beautiful. So let's see what you guys are saying. Try it with a deck you're precious about. The Matronoa cardstock is a little bit delicate. Yeah, it's because I saw Diane doing it, soaping the Matronoa. But yeah, I think you're right. The Greenwood Tarot and my Gaian Tarot is what you've been working with. Just got my Dante, edging it now as we chat. Yeah, it didn't come... I showed it last week, didn't I? And I was surprised that it didn't come edged, because usually the low Scarabeo ones in these nice presentation boxes tend to come edged. What are you edging it in? Are you doing red? Are you doing gold? Let us know. Labanco and Soulseeker Tarot. Soulseeker's good. Oh, you got Eliphas Levi Tarot from Benedetti yesterday. I haven't used it yet, but the quality is top notch. It's a masterpiece. Marilyn from Tarot Clarity describes that, I think, as his finest deck. I think it's a masterpiece, but his finest deck for me is the Soprofino. Just what he did with that, with the everything, that's amazing. Lacrimosa. I use Lacrimosa. In fact, I can put my hand straight on it because he said, don't tell me I moved it when I did that. Do you know I have? I just had it like yesterday in the black box. Oh my gosh, I had it like yesterday. This is typical, isn't it? Oh well, I did have it yesterday and was playing with it. Really love it. Crystal Keys is down to your left, Simon. Yeah, the box is, Adam, but it's in a purple wrap velvet, and I know it's behind these. And when I knocked it over the other day, I need to grab it, but yeah, it's in a purple velvet pouch. Have a backup Matronoa. I'm going to try soaping. I'm back to 13 minutes behind. Oh my gosh. Yeah, try it on another deck until you feel comfortable with it. Oh no. David, I'm scared to do anything with decks now after I effed up trimming the alchemical. Dust, Catherine Tate, I have a Marjorie Dawes, you got the reference. I miss Little Britain. I mean, it could never be aired now, could it? And it was only like 20 years ago, wasn't it? Cross Destinies, that's... Every time I look where I think something is, I've moved it. I was looking at Cross Destinies as well, but... Oh my gosh. You know, it was only this time last year, August, that I sorted all this out. A year on, I'm like, where is it? Where's the deck? Okay. I'm just looking for capitals because I'm so far behind. Little John, Nottingham, nice, yeah. It was turned off last year from, I think, around August till they wanted it ready for Remembrance Day on November the 11th. And it felt so weird living here for 20 years and not hearing it for all those months. But it needed repair and treatment because to last another 50 years, it's 50 years since it was last cleaned. Adam's going to buy the Hieronymus Bosch Tarot since your unboxing, Simon. I want people to align their unboxings with my 26th of the month payday, though. I'll try and bear that in mind. Same me, I was worried about missing. So tomorrow I'm going to show his Vlad Dracula deck. Last week I did the Magicians, Martyrs and Madmen, and Hieronymus Bosch the week before that. I have a crush on Travis McHenry. I think everybody has a crush on Travis McHenry. Queer Crow Death Magic is fantastic. Yeah, it is. Oh, it's Ferdiad's Deck of the Year. Wow. Okay, just scrolling a bit faster now to see if I can... this is a tag. Do you have the Wisdom of the Sacred Oracle? It's really helping me through this period of my life. I don't. Wisdom of the Sacred Oracle. No, I must look that up. You would be proud of me. I went through my tarot closet and reorganized and cleaned everything out. Wow. Yeah, it's a big task though, isn't it? We all have a crush on Travis. He's got us all spell cast. We're under his spell. Vlad Dracula's hardcore. Yeah, a lot of his decks are hardcore though, aren't they? Wisdom of the Sacred Oracle by Judy Lanfredi. Okay, hi Tom, by the way. So, next prompt. How are we for time? We're all right. Any wins or tarot surprises? Gosh, 15 minutes since those bongs. Any wins or tarot surprises? And by that I mean anything you bought unexpectedly or traded for or fell in love with this month. Mine is the Lux Tarot, Usi's Lux Tarot. So this was a trade with Tammy Pie. I'd got an out of print deck that she wanted. I didn't want any more. I wanted this, but postage, costs, shipping, everything else. And Tammy Pie was like, well, I'm getting this deck anyway, so why don't I just get two and then I can trade with you? And I'm loving the simplicity of this. The black and white, except for I mean, look at them. They look like orange segments, don't they? Like slices of an orange. But it's such a great reader. Yeah, except for the Death and the Devil card. So here's the Devil card, and they have these splashes of red. Looks is delicious. It's great, isn't it? I love the arrangement of the pips. I mean, look at that. Gorgeous. And the Strength card. Ah, beautiful. The Hanged One. And of course, because it's UC, it's the Expert Playing Card Company type linen. Soft, beautiful. Chariot. The Strength card is epic. Look at the batons. Here's Temperance, look. Look at the hair. I'm tilting it because if I do that, you get like a glare from the screen. It's so bold and striking. And I love this Hermit card. It's brilliant. Are they great? Love it. Here's the Death card, also with red. The Ace of Swords, look. Our High Priestess. Ace of Coins. This is the additional card. There was the moon phases as well. Keep them separate. The moon card. Look at the wheel. It's brilliant. I really, really enjoy it. Beautiful deck. Let's see if there's any surprises for you. Yes, I am. And normally I'm not because they're just in the background, Justin. And, you know, after 20 years of living here in this apartment, it's like, what bells? I have a crush on Daniel Martin Diaz entirely based on his debts. No idea what he looks like. Do you know when I started reading that, I was going to say, I don't even know what Daniel Martin Diaz looks like. That's funny. The looks is delicious. I agree. Adam bought the Silver Acorn Tarot first edition, which was one of the last ones available, brand new. Didn't expect to like it, but loved it. Linen cardstock, elongated cards, cute and creepy perfection. I'm not aware of Silver Acorn. Ooh. Treadwell's has a vintage tarot market coming up, probably in August. I hope it's the end of August or after the 25th. That would be cool. Moomin, hi Ellen. Lux is on its way, looking forward to it. Oh, I can't wait to hear your thoughts on it. If I'm not assuming you're going to do that, but hopefully you will. Look at the signs. You can tell it's the weekend. It's Saturday night in the city. They have about 100 vintage decks in the shop on sale now, and a basement full of decks. They just can't get priced quick enough. How do they have that many vintage decks? I bet they're quite a price though, aren't they? Of the Oracle Baleen. Wow, good find. Doripus. Yeah, I'm so thrilled you got that, Jack. Holy Spectrum, Unfinished Business, Ghostly Tarot. 3 best surprises for me. Yeah, that was lovely to see. So pleased you've got Holy Spectrum as well. It's just an amazing deck. I shared that on Kasha's deck. It was about a deck that perhaps is a little bit underrated or didn't get the attention I think it deserved. People were talking about it, but not to the degree of, I don't know, some others like Lightseers or Wild Unknown. I just think it's an incredible, iconic deck. And people talk about the Slow Hollow, and it's got vibes of Slow Hollow. Vintage decks are so hard to find here in person. Prices are reasonable. I'm sure you could get your unsold decks there, Simon. Okay, keeping an eye on the time. Question, what makes a deck a keeper for you? We're talking about letting go of decks, haven't we? You know, is it the artwork? Is it the cardstock, the guidebook, the history, or is it more about emotional connections or something else? What is it that makes a deck a keeper, one that you think I'm not going to let go of? And then kind of on the same line, is there a difference between a beautiful deck and a usable deck? Because I've had some decks that are so beautiful that they perhaps, I don't use them as much. So it's a bit of 2 questions in one really, but what makes a deck a keeper? Because if it is about the artwork, because it's beautiful, is it then usable? Or are you a bit like me where you think, actually, I'm just going to use the heck out of it, you know? We're here for a good time. And, you know, why should it just sit gathering dust? So let me know your thoughts. I keep looking at Lux decks on JP Games Limited. They sell UC brands, decks and books. They're close to me in Leeds. I'll have to look. Leeds in the UK. JP Games Limited. It is the feel of the deck in its entirety, says Marilyn. Artwork and personal connection, says Debbie. For me, a keeper deck is a mix of all of those, but cardstock has to be a decipher. Yeah, I think if there's really bad cardstock, doesn't matter how beautiful it is, it's like... And I know you can back them and things like that, make them a bit sturdier. Guidebook is less important for me, you know. If there is a really good guidebook, then, you know, one that's delicious, like perhaps Terra Volatile guidebook or even Deviant Moon's guidebook, or there's been some really good guidebooks, even Phantasmagoria, really good guidebooks. But, you know, if a deck is stunning and beautiful and it doesn't have a guidebook, I don't lose any sleep about it because, yeah. I do like to know kind of like the artist's thoughts. I don't want a generic guidebook as in, you know, the 6 of Swords means that you're going to be going to pastures new and moving away from turbulent times. And I don't want all that. I want, you know, here in this card, you will see and whatever's there and why I, as a creator, depicted the 6 of Swords in this way. Keeper is symbolism. I think I put emotional connection in there as well, because that is, for me, I know usually from the very first walkthrough, I'm like, wow, there's something here that gets that deck. I'm like, oof, and there's that connection. And it's an emotional one. I've got quite emotional over some decks before, and those decks are keepers. And they don't always have to be the most beautiful deck. I mean, beauty is subjective, isn't it? But, you know, if I'm thinking of a deck like Pagan Overworlds, which I think is gorgeous, Matronoa, gorgeous. Yes, that all helps. But sometimes you'll get some very beautiful decks, but there isn't the emotional connection with them. So emotional connection is a huge one for me. Intuitively or emotionally, just says artwork cards. I can get a deck that reads well. I'm not afraid to use, no matter how pretty. See, I showed this on Chris channel. And I think the larger one goes up to something like £900, but I didn't need it. This is a nice size, and just so beautiful. But I want to be careful with it. And Marco always says, you don't need to be careful with my decks. You know, they are very sturdily made. Is that a word? Sturdily. And look, even the Two of Cups, he personalises the card as well. And, you know, these are handmade decks and are just beautiful. But I am very cautious with it. I'm you know, I feel like I need to put on white gloves when I'm working with it, because I'd hate for it to get damaged, because it was so expensive. But not only the cost, because I could get another one, I could save again and, you know, get another one in time if something happened. But just the fact that you know, the handcrafted, handmade, take a while. When you say you want one, you know, he takes him a while because he hand makes it for you. They're not decks that I'm rough with. Adam says, what makes a deck a keeper? The energetic connection, the imagery, the shadowier, more abstract, weirder is the more I'll connect with it. It's all about the art for me, the visuals and the feeling. Emotional connection from Moran. I don't tend to keep decks that I don't use, but need to feel connected to the deck. Hey Chris, I'm more or less finishing up, but nice to see you. I've only got a small tarot collection. I get a deck when I love the art, but I'll always want to use it. Sometimes some decks I still love the art, but for some reason I don't use them so often. Yes, UK Leeds. Oh, what? I forgot the name of the shop already, but I need to check them out then if they have vintage decks. The guidebook Alejandro sent with that new deck is amazing. It is. JP Games. JP Games. I'll try and remember that. Or if I go to an hour and a half in on my video, visual reminder, Simon Past talking Simon Future, JP Games. Blood Moon. Hermit down. Hermit down. What's happened? Simon's Cave has got gremlins at it. Am I live? So that wasn't just me. Hermit down. Good one, Ferdy. Cut off in mid-sentence. I've noticed his internet had. And he's back. I didn't even realise I went. How long was I gone for? I just got Bosch to be a darker shadow deck, but it eventually gives me very beautiful uplifting messages. Yeah, it does. Okay, last one then. I'll pull a card and we'll go. It's a final question to finish on. Have we reached peak tarot? There are thousands of decks now. So what makes a new release exciting? Because I've let a lot of decks go. A lot. I never used to think twice about letting Oracle decks go, but I always thought twice about letting Oracle decks go because I used to want them back after so long. And I used to think, well, don't be in a rush to get rid of them. But now I'm like, I can't have the amount of decks that I've got in 3 rooms of the house, of the flat. And, you know, decks are churned out all the while. And some I look at and I think, meh, no, doesn't add anything new to my collection. There's nothing appealing. But because there's thousands of decks now, what makes a new release exciting for you? I started to sound like a Dalek and then went off. Originality, says Adam, something that stands out above the tarot crowd. But what is that then? What is, I get originality, but when you say something that stands out above the tarot crowd, is there something in particular? Because I think that's why I've been looking at vintage decks, because of the churning out of mass market decks, and some just don't add anything else to what's already out there. It might be a variation of something that we've seen. I mean, I got excited about Matronoa because, you know, it's like a vintage deck that's just so beautiful. It's like bringing back a vintage deck into the modern world. Chat was scrolling quite fast then. If Simon and I were roommates, we would need a second house just for the collection. Yeah. I need to do, I've got, in a couple of weeks, I've got another week off and I need to get rid of some more as well. Is this, I think I might get away with not a bad bruise. Fast forward to me waking up tomorrow morning. It does feel bewildering. There are so many decks, but very few of them feel like must-haves for me, even with my little set. Yeah, for me now, I think like Adam says, originality. If I'm bringing something in and I'm excited, it's because it's like the decks I've shown. This is, I can't think of anything else I've got that's like this. Or when I showed Lux, that's a very different type of pip deck. What else? Queer Crow Death Magic is unique to me. So they're the ones I'm like, wow. For me, I don't get new release decks unless they're either a historical deck or have a historical feel in some way. Yes, a bit like Matronoa. I think if the deck has a true teaching in it somehow, the creator teaches me something. As long as we keep buying decks, there are no limits. Golden says, I'm totally overwhelmed by how many decks keep coming out. It has made me a little numb to them all. I have a wish list for those that have beautiful hand-produced artwork. Yeah, and that's a good practice to have, actually, is because I was very impulse very early on. Me? Impulse? I would see a deck and think, oh, it's beautiful, hit buy, and it's on its way. Now, I mean, there are still those, I'm like, oh, wow, that is incredible. But 9 times out of 10, and because it's become less accessible because of shipping costs and taxes and things like that, I tend to put it onto my wish list. And then if I have a payday and there's not a deck that I'm thinking of getting that month, I'll look at my wish list and perhaps pull something from it. The risk of that, of course, is if something is very limited in number, then you do run the risk of missing out. But then I'm a little bit more philosophical about that and think, well, if it's not meant to be, Marilyn tends to look for something different that fills a gap. The art of the vintage decks, and they keep pulling me back. Yeah. Simon's move inspired me to start a spreadsheet whilst I have a baby collection. It's a good idea. I am loving more unusual art, tending towards lino cuts, hand-drawn or painted, more raw art, maybe to contrast with AI perfection. Yeah, really good point. You're hoping more mashups? Well, funny you should say that about the Toth. There is, I think that's what Alejandro is playing around with as an idea. I saw an image on his Instagram and I'm like, ooh, that looks cool. A deck that strikes an emotional chord, something that hits hard, shocks or surprises you. Usually for me, decks that are deep, a la Shimmering Veil. Big up the Shimmering Veil. Missed what happened to the eye. Long story. It's right at the beginning if you want to watch it back, but self-inflicted. I haven't been punched. Let's have a look. I think there'll always be beautiful new art and beautiful new tarot. It depends on taste, but real art by real artists that don't use any AI. Yeah. I think it's a tricky one to answer because what peak tarot is will be different for every single person. Yeah. And I think that's why I, rabbit ears it. We're all just chasing the wonder we got when we first got into tarot. That's a good point, and I've often thought about that. Because if I see a deck that I really want, you visualize yourself with it in your hands and using it, don't you? And there's that sort of, I could just imagine laying those cards out, and it's, yeah. We'll never forget our first deck and our first moments with tarot, whether it was scary, bewildering, exciting, whatever it was. It's a visceral thing. I can remember, like I say, my first ever tarot reading. I'm like, I've got to get me one of those decks. And the excitement and the wonder and the magic and the mystery, and it's all wrapped up into that experience. So I think you could be right. We could be looking for that. Okay, let me scroll down. Okay, Ruined Edifice is another one that's on my list. I will get that eventually. All right, we're over time, but that's okay. I've enjoyed the hangout. It's been fun. You'll be so proud of me. I went through my tarot closet and reorganized and oh no, that's an old one. That hadn't scrolled back. Alejandro's Toth in the making. Yeah, it looks good, doesn't it? Let's have a good dig deep. I was like, I don't recognise that. That's because it's the back. What have we got? Oh, we have the 5 of Cups. Five of Cups is our card of the week. Let's not then this week, let's not focus on what is lost. Let's focus on what we have, but also recognize that we can't always change what has happened. What we have to do is adapt, and sometimes it's about a new way to live, or a new way to reframe the way we think. And a bit like, no, not a curry tonight, Tom, stop it. A bit like the Death card, if we let go of the fear of loss, then we open ourselves up for the space for something new to come in. And then we have the opportunity to embrace the change that brings. Change can be hard. Loss is hard, let's be honest. And when, you know, we could be talking about something trivial like, I don't know, losing £10. I'm sure I had £10 in my wallet and it's not there now, I've lost £10. Or it could be the loss of a dream, or the loss of a relationship. So it could be something that's quite trivial or something that's quite significant. However, what this card reminds us to do is, yeah, we feel the emotions with that, we process that, but let's not dwell and focus on what's lost. Let's adapt, process, reframe our way of thinking, and then once we do that, we open that space. And once we open that space, something else can come in. So that's our card for the week in the Hermit's Cave. If you want to start posting your favourite Five of Cups, and I'll put this in shortly. Thank you for being here, everybody. It's been lovely to hang out with you this evening, and I'll be back next Saturday for another cuppa and another catch up. So I'll see you then. Have a fantastic week, and until next time, go in peace. Namaste and blessed be.